She's hungry.
Oh, yeah.
Coffee's here.
And somewhere down that long road, she ceased to be simply my aunt. She's been my aunt for 74 years, so I can lay a claim that many of you can't. She's been my friend for a good long time. And that in part had much to do with the fact that when her brother passed, who happened to be my father, she reached out to me and I reached out to her, and there was a different sort of communion that occurred. Now, part of that communion today is that I believe we're not alone as we're clustered here. I blink and I see many familiar and beloved ghosts. I see Lou Randall standing in the corner, Senior. I see Lou Randall Jr. standing in the corner, maybe right over your shoulder. I see Herb McPherson, her younger brother, standing frowning over in the corner. I see your father, George McPherson, standing over there, and over in another corner of the room, for obvious reasons, is her mother, not standing with her father, because that was another story in itself. I'm old enough to remember the two of these people who had some separation between them being present in the same basement of your house. That to me was historic. But when I think of what I call these beloved ghosts, Wes, your older brother, older. Glenn, your younger sister, they're all here right now. And they're here because I've just called them here. Or they're here whether you've been aware of them or not. I think they all would agree, the way brothers and sisters have contentions between them, that there's this love tie that binds us together. And nobody says you have to like your family. We all know that's true, from time to time. But the fact is, we're bound. You know, somebody said years ago, home is where when you've got to go, they've got to take you in. Well, today we're taking everybody in. And today we're saluting you. And I wanted to make a couple observations about her, because we've been in touch a lot over a period of time. Quite often I'll ring her and I'll say, Bradbury, my dog, and I were out walking, and Bradbury said, you haven't talked to Zelna lately, have you? Why don't you give her a call? And then I'll describe to her where we are and what we're doing, or we spent a lot of time talking about the political arena. I thought about her last night when I was watching the news report about President Clinton, may he improve and be well. Listening to this woman tell me about the magical moment that she shook that man's hand and she said, he looked me in the eyes. This was, I believe, at the library in Birmingham. She said, and I felt as if I were the only person in the world. She's had a lot of connections with history. She is history. She's my history and Leslie's history and your history and your history. And the real exciting value of what we're doing right now is that ordinarily we don't get to see one another unless somebody has shuffled off the coil. And I dare say there's a fair chance that some of us will see some of the rest of us on a less happy occasion, at which point our job will be to salute and to celebrate somebody. But how great it is to be able to look them in the eye and say, this is one of the rarest women I have ever met who at the age of 99, and I used to say, look, this business about you're going to turn 100 soon. I said, everybody who's ever been 100 has been 99. I said, so when you get to be 100, we'll make a big deal about that. And I said to her a little while ago, the only thing that's good about today, ultimately, is tomorrow you won't be saying, have I told you I'm turning 100? She's a pretty interesting woman. She also has been successful at everything she's turned her hand to. She's influenced and inspired people that she has worked with, whether it's the book societies or the music societies or the community, the historical societies. I think she's something of a living legend in Birmingham and in other places. Well, one of the things I admire most about her is she's tough. And she's not only a survivor, but she's independent. And how many people do you know who tomorrow somebody's going to say, although it'll go through Steve's and Paul's and Janine's mind, gee, Mom ought to be in assisted living because she's 100 now. And Mom will be home getting out of bed saying, that was nice yesterday. What am I going to do today? Or, as we've talked before, it's 10:30 in the morning. I feel like some ice cream. Before I go over and plunk out a few songs on the piano. What I remember her saying to me, I will always remember, and I'll probably repeat it at some point. She said to me once, my house, my ice cream. Now that, apart from the motto of our Scottish clan, I think is an enduring sentiment. And it's all we need to know about her. She sees the reins. She gets lonely, she gets sad, she gets happy, she gets ecstatic. I have never in my life had more fun than making a 99-plus-year-old woman giggle like a little girl. And it makes me smile when I hear that giggle. That's why we're here. Some of us who grew up together, who barely recognize one another, but the more time we spend together, those ties, they pull us closer. Some of us have never met before. The only thing we have to remember today is why we're here. And it really is a benchmark. Kyle, you're right. May we all, I don't know, maybe that's a curse to wish everybody, a centennial life. I want it. The important thing is, well, that's probably because you're a Highlander and there can only be one. Or you're an Outlander. But the point of this is that we are made of special stuff. That sounds vain, that sounds conceited, but by God we are lucky, those of us who can claim our descent from the line of people that we have had, and that we can draw strength from this one. And she's drawn strength from the ones who have gone on, and when she goes on, she'll be in lovely company, and then we will draw upon that and hopefully influence others. To some slight degree, maybe the way she's influenced us. So, on behalf of all of those ghosts, and we're all ghosts in the making, thank you for doing what you did with what you had, where you were at. You're still there, you're still doing it. Keep on. Remember, your presence will offend them much more than your absence will. That's actually funny if you think about it. But for those who love you and want you close by, you're an example. So, thanks for being here. And thanks all of you for being here.
Triple digits, and she's lived through so much history. She lived through the Great Depression, she lived through World War II, she lived through a lot of stuff, but she is still here today with us, and I'm really proud of her. She stuck through it, now she's 100. It's a great job.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zelda. Happy birthday to you.
Are you 100?
thank you for the music that you performed. Thank you for all the hard work you guys did getting this. Have you noticed all the things on the wall?
Yeah.
And the lights.
These aren't here all the time?
Yeah, I know.
They're gonna be now.
So much. Blow it out. You blow them out now?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you said you were supposed to do.
Okay,
Make a wish.
okay.
100 more. Yeah, 100 more.
Take a deep breath.
I get to wish for something.
Yes, you
And
do.
you guys are all, should make it happen.
We're witnesses.
That's not fair. You say you're witnessing. Okay, all right. You're absolved.
Thank you.
All right, deep breath.
Sometime this century.
Ready? Deep breath, Salvador.
Okay, what now, all right.
Deep breath. Ready, steady, go.
This is Randall, happy birthday. This is a CD that was produced by my pipe band a few years ago. So I wanted you to have it, something to remember me and this occasion by.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So my sister's here, she'll be dancing for us. While she's getting ready, I'll just start us off with a traditional Highland tune. It's Rathbun Market. You guys heard these before?
Never heard of them.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give a short history anyways. I think it's interesting, even though some of you might know it. There's bagpipes throughout a lot of cultures in history. But the best known ones are these. These are known as the Great Highland bagpipes. And they come from Scotland, obviously. And we think that they probably developed first with something that looked kind of just like this without the rest of it. It was probably like a reed flute of some sort that people picked out of the ground, drilled some holes in, and figured out they could play some music. And that probably happened around 1200, 1300. And then someone came up with the great idea that they should attach a bag to it, because that makes the breathing a whole lot easier. You can keep the music going the whole time without stopping to take a breath, because every time I take a breath, I just squeeze the bag and the music keeps going. And throughout the years, it's evolved and become the instrument it is today. It has 3 or 4 different music producing elements. The chanter, which creates the melody that you hear. And then these are 3 drones that create that like backdrop you hear the whole time. It's just this steady note, and they're tuned. These are tuned an octave lower than the A note, the low A note on the chanter. And this is tuned a step, an octave down from these 2. And that's what gives it its distinct drone sound in the background that you can hear coming from a mile away. I'm gonna check if my sister's ready. And you'll probably recognize the tune I'll be playing to it. It's Scotland the Brave, probably the most ubiquitous tune on the bagpipes. my next tune, well, does anyone have any requests? I know a few of the popular tunes, if anyone knows any names.
You don't know McPherson's Grant, do you?
No.
Just as well.
Trying to think of ones people I might recognize. I'm gonna try 100 Pipers. I'll play Bonnie Dundee and 100 Pipers. They're both short tunes.